Hey guys, today we're gonna review the Bang & Olufsen A1 second generation Bluetooth speaker. This is an upgrade from the original A1 and has some new features etc. which we'll discuss today. But this is a pretty expensive Bluetooth speaker, as the brand name might suggest. What we're gonna find out today after checking out the sound, the mic, the feature, everything. I'm gonna do some tests on it as well. And we're gonna find out whether this is actually worth the money or not. So let's go check it out. Okay, so the price of this is $250, although you might find it a little cheaper on Amazon. By the way, I have some affiliate links in the description, so that might help me support this channel. Okay, let's start with the look and feel. Now that's a place where Bang & Olufsen really shine, and this thing doesn't disappoint. It actually looks really nice. Aesthetically, I love it. It has this nice aluminum grille, which screams premium. And I actually like the look of it. Also, the aluminum grille has a small light as one of the dots, which tells you whether it's on or if the battery is being charged, etc. And it looks pretty cool. It comes in a bunch of colors, and I chose the gray version, which is kind of silver actually. And it also has this really nice leather strap, which is also waterproof, which I think is pretty cool. The bottom is a rubber, which helps it not to slip when you put it somewhere, and it has quite a good grip. Also, it has these buttons on it, the power, Bluetooth, and the mic button on the sides, and the other side has the play button and the volume buttons. And the press, although it's not touch, you have to press it in, it's pretty easy and quite effective. It's nice and tactile, it doesn't feel too hard or too soft. So it's a plus over there. At the back there's a USB-C port, which is also good. Thank God it doesn't have a micro USB. And also the weight is good. This is heavier than my original JBL Flip 3, which I have. It weighs around 558 grams, but it's much lighter than the JBL Charge 5, which is probably something people would compare this with. So overall, the look and feel gets a solid 9 out of 10 from me. Now on to features. This thing is IP67 certified, which is a great big upgrade from its predecessor. So basically this is dust and waterproof, and not just waterproof. IP67 rating means that this can be submerged into water up to 1 meter for 30 minutes. That's pretty cool. You won't have to worry about this falling into the pool or the bathtub. Actually, the pool, if it's a deep end, you might have to worry about that. But overall, that's a fantastic feature. The next feature is Bluetooth 5.1, which is also an upgrade. Also, because of that, this drains less battery. Its pairing and connectivity is very solid, very stable. And you can also attach another second gen B&O A1 to this and make it into a stereo experience. So that's pretty cool. Also, this comes with Alexa built in. This is kind of a substitute for an Alexa Echo Dot. Although there is one thing this doesn't do. It doesn't do standalone. Basically, you need to connect this with your phone app, your Alexa app, then it'll work. And you can wake it up by saying, hey Alexa, it'll work just like that, which is really cool. But if you don't have the phone app attached to this, it won't work like that. So that's something you should know. This also has an app of its own, the Bang & Olufsen app, which you can download on your phone. But to be honest, I wasn't that impressed with it. Because I mean, you can control the volume and you can control sound profiles, but it doesn't give you an equalizer, so you can't really customize the bass and the treble to your own exact liking. But the sound profiles are there, and some people may like that. You know, it might make it more bright or more bass heavy. So at least it does have an app, so I'll give it some points there. Also, probably one of my favorite features is this has multi-point connection, meaning you can pair this to 2 devices at the same time. Whether it's your phone or your laptop, you can just connect this to both the devices and just switch between them at your own convenience. So as for the features, I'm gonna have to give this a 9 out of 10 as well, because the features are quite solid and I think they do justice to this device. As for the battery, this thing has a pretty good battery. If you're listening to it on medium volume, it's gonna give you around 18 hours of playback time. And if you lower that just a bit, it'll go to like 24 hours, which is great. If you listen to this on low volume, this will touch 40 hours and above. So they rate it to 43 hours, I think, and on low volumes. So that's a pretty good battery time. But if you listen to this on maximum volume, you'll get only 3 hours. But that's the thing with most Bluetooth speakers. You see, the max volume makes a huge difference. So 3 hours, 18 hours on medium, and about 43 hours on low. And charging time is around 2.5 to 3 hours on this device. So for the battery, I'm gonna give this an 8.5 out of 10. Now let's talk about the mic, because this thing actually has pretty good mics. They actually have 3 mics in it now, and the old version had only 1. So what I'm gonna do is do a small mic test quickly so you can actually hear it for yourself. And I'll also give you my opinion on how it sounds to me in person. Also, I'm gonna compare this to the JBL Flip 3, Although this is old, I know, but it'll give you a good reference point, so you'll know how it sounds compared to something else. Okay, so this is the mic test for the JBL Flip 3. Testing 1, 2, 3, testing. How does my voice sound? How's the mic on the JBL Flip 3? Okay, so this is the mic test for the Bang & Olufsen A1 2nd Gen. Right now, the device is about 2 feet away from me, and now it's about 3 feet away from me. Okay, so now I have simulated crowd sound on. How's my voice sounding? Is the mic good on the JBL Flip 3 or not? Okay, so now I've turned on the crowd simulation noise. How does my voice sound now? Does it sound good? Does it sound clear? Okay, so this is another mic test with the Bang & Olufsen about 5 to 6 feet away from me. It's in the center of the room and I'm just walking around talking as if I would be speaking on a conference call or with work, etc. Now, how's the mic sound now? Do you think people can hear me? Okay, so we heard the mic. Now, I think the mic is really good. When I'm close to it, it sounds excellent. But even when I'm far off, like 6-7 feet away and I'm walking around the room, as you would in a conference call or a meeting, this sounds really good, even with background noise. Because as you know, I tested all of this. And compared to the JBL, I think this thing blows us out of the water. Although it might not be fair because this is pretty old and this is not known for its good mic. So the mic gets a solid 9 out of 10 from me. Now let's talk about the sound quality. But before I talk about it, let's quickly have a listen. And I'm going to compare this to the JBLs, to my iPhone and my MacBook, just so you have a good reference. Because on YouTube it's going to be very difficult. But I'll also give you my opinion how it sounds in person. Okay, so we had a listen. Now, in my opinion, this has pretty good sound quality. Its bass is really good and punchy, its mids and highs are also really good. But the good thing is it has great clarity. Especially when you compare it to something else like the JBLs, you could tell that this was much more clear, especially in the mids and the highs. And the bass was pretty solid. I really liked it. In loudness, I would say maybe the JBLs were a tad bit louder, but honestly, what's the point when the clarity is not there? And I really like the sound signature of this way better. The instrument separation was also really good. You heard it compared to my iPhone and my MacBook as well, so maybe you could tell through YouTube how it sounds to you. But in person, I definitely like the sound quality of the Bang & Olufsen A1 2nd Gen. But is the sound quality worth the $250? I wouldn't say so. You could get something that sounds just as good, maybe even a little better for quite a bit cheaper, maybe 150 bucks. For example, the JBL Charge 5. To be honest, I haven't heard it myself, but I'm sure that matches this, that rivals this in sound quality pretty well. Maybe if I get my hands on it, I'll do a comparison. But having said that, overall it was clear, and for what it is, I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10 for sound quality. Okay, so the last category is price to value score. Now, we all know that this is Bang & Olufsen. This comes with a special prestige attached to it, a promise of quality, because this is expensive. You can get stuff that is much cheaper than this, for example, the JBL Charge 5, with the same amount of features, sound quality, maybe even some better stuff. I'm not sure about that. But this is B&O. So the price to value, I'm gonna judge taking that into consideration as well. Having said that, I'm still not gonna give this a very high score because it's $250. I would have given this a 5 out of 10, but I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10 just because this is B&O. And people who buy this know that. They're not gonna buy a JBL, they're not gonna buy an Anchor. They want that brand name or that promise attached to it. So as for the conclusion, this gets a solid 49.5 out of 60, which is a pretty good score. I wasn't expecting this to get such a good score. I thought it'd be much lower because I knew this was overpriced. But I think it's pretty impressive. It's a great product if you can afford it and if you want Bang & Olufsen. Otherwise, go for something else. Personally, I would probably buy a JBL Charge 5 or something equivalent to that because I'm a value for money type of guy and I like the best bang for the buck. But that's the overall score and I think it did pretty well. If you like it, if you want to buy it, there's a link in the description. It's an affiliate link. It'll help me support this channel. And I hope you liked this video. If you did, hit a like, subscribe, and definitely stick around for our next video. So till then, take care. Bye.